Child abuse is becoming a more mainstream topic nowadays. 1 in 10 children suffer from child maltreatment, 1 in 16 children suffer from sexual abuse, and nearly 1 in 10 children are witnesses to family violence. Now, it seems as the younger you are, the more vulnerable you are to child abuse. 25% of abused children are under the age of 3, while 45% of abused children are under the age of 5. The number of children in the United States that died because of abuse or neglect in 2012 was 1,593. And of the children who died because of abuse or neglect, 70.3 were younger than the age of 3, and 44.1 were under 1 year of age. Now, child abuse isn't a gender-neutral thing. It basically, boys and girls are treated equally as victims. In 2012, 48.5% of abused children were boys, and 51.2% of abused children were girls. However, the rate of child fatality is higher for boys than it is for girls.
Little voices, many little voices laughing and whispering lies to our youth. These little voices strike through your mind like lightning, linking each horrible thought to the next. The little voices that long to be heard. Our lost little voices looking, longing, listening for the darkness to go away. The little voices violently rising like a virus. The lost little voices of today is our youth. For every 10 adolescents, only 1 will ever speak up. Their little voices silenced by the harsh words and actions of their abusers. The dark night children see terrifies them. A little girl feels him pursue her. At first he amuses her, he even woos her. He then later confuses her, bruises her, misuses her, then refuses her. She couldn't look for guidance, her voice was silenced, her thoughts multiplying, she began crying, ever denying, defying, intensifying, and satisfying thoughts that couldn't be silenced with each waking moment. She would hear the sound of the never-ending clock, for every tick and every talk brought her thoughts closer and closer to the man that would abuse her. The dark man began to beat her, mistreat her, she couldn't retreat, began feeling incomplete, she couldn't delete the sound of the drum beat in her ears. Ticking away like a bomb ready to explode with every hit, he strips away her self-worth, layer by layer, piece by piece, until there was nothing left of her. She became empty like a lost soul, her inner light beginning to dull, all because of a man who felt as though abusing adolescence was okay. Whenever she was shouting, she felt as though she was drowning. He continued to beat her until she was black and blue. He heard her cries as she said her goodbyes, and his anger only intensifies. And then there was silence, and the world becomes tense. Her last breath resulted in her death. Her entire body bruised, misused, and abused. She never had the courage to raise her voice. She had no other choice than to be silenced. Her lifeless body silenced until the end of time for this horrible crime. What is so gratifying is that our world is ever denying the fact that there are kids out there dying, crying for help, looking for a voice but have no other choice than to be silenced. The little girl never had the courage to speak up, feeling like a lost little pup, and that little pup had a look in her eyes before she died. Many people would deny, defy, or imply that it wasn't the guardian's fault. All people do is criticize, never equalize. That is until they realize what they did is unwise. People need to watch kids a little closer. They might even be able to expose the discolored pieces on their skin where the bruises used to be, or the way her eyes no longer shine with joy. Thoughts of depression twisting in their minds as they weigh down on their victims heavily. Each thought and action affecting them to the point of no return. Their silence is them internally screaming for help because no one hears them. Yet they don't have the courage to speak up for themselves. What adolescents don't know is that there are people willing to say what isn't said, feeling the dread of the lost little voices. Hi, my name is Lauren. I was 7 when my father abused me.
Hi, my name is Renee. I was 4 when my brother abused me.
Hi, my name is Charlotte. I was 5 when both my parents would abuse me.
My name is Janice. I was 5 when both of my parents abused me.
I am Dawn. I was 7.
I'm Angelica. I was 3.
I am Claudette. I was 6.
I'm Liam. I was 4.
I am Corrine. I was 4.
I'm Christina. I was 7.
I am Emma. I was 5.
I'm Thea. I was 3.
I am Alice. I was 6.
I'm Annie. I was 8.
I am Caroline. I was 7.
I'm Kimberly. I was 5.
I am Mel. I am 5.
I'm Millie. I was 8.
I am Robbie. I was 7.
I'm Sophie. I was 6.
I am Kimberly. I was 5.
I'm Peter. I was 4.
I am Gareth. I was 9.
I'm Gary. I was 7.
I am Gracie. I was 3.
I'm Helen. I was 4.
I am Carrie. I was 6.
I'm Hunter. I was 8.
And we are all victims. Where was everyone when my father was beating me and I was crying on the bathroom floor? Why wasn't my sister screaming for help when my mom was hitting me?
Why did no one ask about my bruises?
Did no one care enough to ask?
Was I just invisible?
Did anyone care?
Was I really as worthless as they said I was?
Did it make Daddy happy when he hit me?
Did it make my mom proud seeing my bruises?
Was I being a good daughter because I wasn't telling anyone what they did to me?
No. I tried to keep a little secret.
Did no one see the pain I was in?
Would my uncle really kill me if I told my parents he was hitting me?
I just want to make Mommy and Daddy proud.
Please forgive me.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Now you know what happened to me.
I hope your eyes will open and see.
Over and over, I tried to forget the things you did to me.
Over and over, you lied.
And over, I cried.
Why are we so quick to assume that because they're kids, they're going to have bruises because they're clumsy or just having fun?
You never know what happens behind a closed door.
Stop assuming.
Create a safe environment for kids.
Look out for adolescents everywhere.
Make a change.
Stand up for others.
Find your voice.
Make a change.
Create awareness.
Stop this inhumanity.
Have an effect on others' lives.
Don't become just another bystander.
Take action.
Be the voice for those that don't have the courage to speak.
Kids all around the world are going through this on a daily basis.
Some people feel as though the children here disgrace us.
But instead of making a fuss, they just begin to mistrust and adjust. What people have done to adolescents is unjust.
Don't be so quick to become judgmental.
Just become sentimental.
Above all else, show you care.
To all the kids, it seems unfair.
All of them are in despair.
It seems as though no one cares.
But no matter how much it seems they don't care, they still never want to see their parents in the death chair.
After everything they've been through, they still care about them.
Even though they seem like scum.
They still want them to keep from the outcome.
People take advantage of adolescence.
That's why they become suppressant.
There is only black or white.
It is only wrong or right.
There are more than just bruises left behind.
Whoever committed the crime, the child can now rest knowing that the parent can cause no more pain.
But regardless of where the child is or who she is with, they will forever be bruised inside and out,
Knowing only the touch of pain.
feeling nothing else but pain.
As the person feels nothing but drain.
At times there are even bloodstains.
They say that they try their best to restrain themselves from hurting them.
Yet I only see bruises on them.
They would call her the quiet mistake when she was born.
She was not a rose but an unwanted thorn.
Abused all her life.
She was finally grown, slapped around a lot against the wall she was thrown.
Every man she chose was just like her dad.
Still to this day her life is very sad.
She only needed to know that someone was there.
She hasn't gotten much heart left to share. We had a little girl, and her name was Angie.
How old was she?
She was 6 years old.
When did this happen?
It happened not that long ago. My mom fosters for kids, and everything that happened is, as soon as we get foster kids, we have to write down where their bruises are marked, and what happened in what situation. They give us paperwork with circles, and we have to write exactly where the bruises are located. She would be afraid if you would touch her, if you would get close to her.
What happened with her?
Both of her parents abused of her and her brother, and the dad would also abuse of the mom. And she was just a little girl, and she was scared. She didn't know what else to do, what else to expect, so whenever they brought her to a new foster home, all she would do was lash out to other people, not knowing what to expect.
What happened to the brother, the dad?
We had the brother also, because we didn't want anything else to happen, and then we would rather have them both than just one and have them separated. Apparently, after a while, the dad got custody again, but just of the brother. And we were going through a lot, and she was going through a lot with her anger issues, that she started hurting herself. That they had to put her back into the system and back into a mental facility to try and help her with her problem, to try and help her to stop hurting herself, but she felt like there was no point. She's already been hurt so much before, so what is the point now? And we haven't seen her since then. But even though we fought a lot, she was like another sister to me. And I believe that if she came back now, we could give her so many chances at the life she deserves.
Where is she now?
She's still in the foster care system because no one wants her. No one can take care of her. And apparently she's just really hard to handle at the moment.
What is she gonna do?
Apparently there's nothing we can do. That's why we need to stop what is happening now. We need to take a stand. Because what is happening to these kids are not okay. It's just not.